Baroness Pigeon.
I beg leave to ask the question standing in my name on the order paper.
My Lords, new motor vehicles, including commercial vehicles, must be approved to a broad range of rigorous safety requirements. In addition, the Department for Transport is a founding member of the Euro New Car Assessment Programme, a membership organisation providing information on the relative safety of cars and commercial vehicles beyond the regulatory minimum, typically using a 1 to 5-star rating system. Although not mandatory, it provides market incentive for manufacturers to develop increasingly safer vehicles.
At the forefront of developing the European Union's General and Pedestrian Safety Regulations, GSR, which mandate a raft of proven safety features in vehicles. Will the government adopt GSR in the UK to ensure that we improve the safety of commercial vehicles on our roads? And may I also take this opportunity to wish the Noble Lord the Minister a very happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. The Noble Lady is absolutely right that the general safety regulations were mandated by the European Union in 2022, prior to the United Kingdom leaving the EU. The UK officials had worked on the range of 19 new vehicle technologies that she refers to, and the government has commissioned analysis to determine which of those technologies are right for Great Britain. This is under really active consideration at the moment, and I have separately, and I will write to her about the list of those 19. In the meantime, of course, because the commercial vehicle manufacturing industry is international, many vehicles will already comply with the General Safety Regulations, brackets 2 for some reason.
I wish the Noble Lord happy birthday. And in doing so, my Lords, there are 600,000 professional HGV drivers in the United Kingdom. We operate 400,000 HGVs. The library tells us that there is only one person in Parliament who has any practical experience of the operation of heavy goods vehicles. Why do we want to get rid of me? And saying that a bill is going through Parliament is not a good answer.
Well, since there's only one person here who holds a passenger-carrying vehicle licence, which is broadly similar experience, though the payload complains more often than it does with a commercial vehicle. The answer, of course, is that the Noble Lord's question is nothing to do with commercial vehicles at all. It's frequently debated in here, and I will leave a proper answer to that to the Leader of the House.
Would the Minister enlighten me as to how many people were killed last year, or the latest date that he has, on the roads by HGVs? I've got the 2019 numbers of 100. I've been here too long. But of 178 road users and 82 vulnerable road users, surely he needs to bring in the protections that my honourable colleague has described ahead of waiting for some strategy, because people are dying on the roads daily.
So I thank the Noble Baroness for her question. I have in here somewhere those statistics, and I have up-to-date ones, and I will send them to her. But as I said, actually, the 19 new vehicle technologies, many of them are already being applied because the commercial vehicle industry is an international one, and I also referred to this being under really active consideration, which means that I think shortly that we will be able to say about which of the 19 this government proposes to introduce, and when we do, that will be conclusive.
We're keen on safety throughout the country. Indeed, our own drivers are very well trained in general, but there are real concerns that foreign drivers who seem to be involved in quite a lot of the accidents that occur with heavy goods vehicles don't appear to be trained to the same standards. Will the Noble Minister kindly comment on that and see what we are doing to be in association with other countries, particularly in Europe, to make sure their standards are maintained?
So the standards of professional vocational drivers in Britain are very high, and both the test that you have to pass and the continuous professional development, which is actually broadly similar to the continuous professional development applied in European countries, is also very strong. But the enforcement activities are run by the Vehicle Inspectorate, who are part of the Driver and Vehicle Services Agency, and they're much more sophisticated in targeting enforcement than perhaps they once were, including making sure that those who drive commercial vehicles from other countries on our roads are consistently to the same standard of safety as our own vehicles are. I think I'll leave the detail of how they enforce what they do to them, but it appears to be a very successful enforcement activity.
Could my noble friend confirm that the safety rules apply both to all cars and heavy goods vehicles? And do they also include covering vintage army vehicles that Noble Lord Attlee referred to?
Gosh. So the safety requirements that the Noble Baroness Pigeon asked me about are the ones applicable to new vehicles, and the standards of safety that apply to all vehicles on the UK's roads are the latest standards that applied at the time at which they were manufactured, of course improved by the regular testing system. There are reasons why historic vehicles can't always comply with modern standards. There is a silver lining in that, which is most very ancient vehicles can't go very fast either, and my experience of the vehicle testing regime is that the testing regime is both absolutely rigorous but respectful of the age of vehicles and of their original manufacturing condition.
To the Noble Lord the Minister on his birthday, and it's a great pity that it isn't being celebrated by a parade around Parliament Square of the Noble Lord driving his bus, accompanied by my noble friend Lord Attlee driving his army truck. Perhaps something to plan for next year. My Lords, broadening this out a little bit, UK motor manufacturing is in a state of crisis. Is it not time for the government to take a lead from the Conservative Party and start to reassess its net zero and in particular its imposed electric vehicle targets, while we still have a domestic motor manufacturing base to save?
Well, to the serious point that the Noble Lord raises, actually I think the government are continuing to modernise the requirement for vehicles on British roads, and in fact are continuing to insist on the trajectory to zero-emission vehicles for very obvious reasons. And in fact, contrary to the implication of what he says, that was started by the previous government. On a more jocular note, actually, neither the Noble Earl Attlee nor I need to add further to the traffic round Parliament Square, particularly in the last few days.
Previous government, the present government should stick to them and give the British motor manufacturers certainty as to what is going to happen, rather than uncertainty of the kind that has recently been stirred up.
Bankruptcy.
Well, we're very welcome for the Noble Lord's support in this. It's inevitable that the motor manufacturing industry moves on, and contrary to a lot of the noise, actually there's great evidence that actually the translation to zero-emission vehicles and electric vehicles is proceeding, and actually but beneath all of the noise, actually it's quite clear that electric vehicles are catching on, and that the manufacturing market needs to carry on in that direction. My own experience of introducing electric vehicles, hybrid vehicles and electric vehicles, is the one thing that really does make a difference is a continuing purchase in larger and larger numbers, which encourages manufacturers to make the right thing at a lower cost and be successful.